Hello and welcome to our interview. Who are we here with today?
Hi, my name is Anna McNeil.
Hi, Anna McNeil. What year are you?
I'm a junior in college.
Awesome. What are you studying right now?
I'm studying applied health.
All right. Well, thanks so much for doing this interview.
Of course.
Anna McNeil. Okay, Anna. Do you believe there's a difference between murder and homicide?
That's a good question. I'm gonna have to go with straight away. My answer is no. I don't believe there is a difference. Maybe there is like small differences, but generally I feel like they're the same thing, or I've always referred to them as being the same thing. So yeah,
That is a very common answer, Anna
Cool.
McNeil. Okay, so there is a difference between murder and homicide.
good to know.
So homicide is defined as the killing of a person by another person, whereas murder is defined as an unlawful killing of another person with malice aforethought. So homicide is basically, I think, what you think it is, and then murder is just under the umbrella of homicide. Does that make sense?
That totally does. Thank you.
Okay, do you think there are examples of legal homicides? Do you think it's legal to commit homicide ever?
I think in the instance maybe of like death row, but do I ever think it's legal to commit homicide for just anyone? No.
Oh, absolutely. You're absolutely right there. So that is one of the main ones, death penalty. Another is self-defense, so that can be citizen to citizen or even like with police officers. Another one's euthanasia. Legal only in some places.
Yeah, it's state to state.
Switzerland, it's legal. I don't know if it's legal in the U.S. at all.
Really? I thought it was legal in Oregon, actually.
It might be, and we need to look that up. But actually, super interesting, one thing I learned in my class is that, my criminology class that I'm doing this interview for, is that technically the doctor pulling a plug on a patient that has been brain dead for months, that is technically considered homicide, legal homicide.
I feel like that makes sense.
And
I
you're-
wrote a paper on that actually.
Really?
Yes, I did.
Wow. Yeah, because you're applied health. How do you feel about that? You know, the fact that you might have to one day commit legal homicide.
I don't think I could morally agree with that, personally.
Like pulling the plug.
Yes.
Like you wouldn't be able to
I
do
wouldn't
it.
be able to pull the plug of someone else, even if it is legal. I
Yeah.
think I still have my morals, and just because I'm a doctor doesn't mean I'm like comfortable with doing that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which I'm not a doctor. Not a doctor. Anywhere near that right now.
And we'll get into that morality thing soon. Okay, going back to the definition of murder, we talked about malice aforethought. Have you heard of malice aforethought, and if so, what is it? If not, what do you think it means?
I've never heard of that. But can you repeat it?
Malice aforethought. Can you give us your best guess?
Malice meaning bad. Is it? I'm assuming it's just like kind of like thoughts before, like committing homicide. I'm not sure.
Yeah, like planning it out.
Yeah,
And like,
yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that is actually part of what malice aforethought is. So there's 4 criteria that meet malice aforethought. The first one is intent to kill. The second is intent to cause substantial bodily harm. The third is depraved heart murder, which is actually an unintentional killing that results from extreme reckless and dangerous conduct, showing a wanton disregard for human life. And then the fourth would be felony murder. So what does the 6th commandment say? Do you know off the top of your head?
It is thou shalt not kill.
Wow, she knew.
I
Okay.
don't know. Thank you.
She knew. And are you Christian?
Yes, I am.
So you subscribe to that. You're like, thou shalt not kill.
Subscribed. Yes.
Awesome.
Checked.
Do you think that's actually? I'll just ask you this question.
Okay.
How does your Christian faith influence your stance on the use of deadly force to protect yourself, your family, and your property?
That's a really difficult question.
You touched on it a little bit.
A little bit,
But-
that's difficult because I understand for people in terms of self-defense. Since I've never been in that situation where I've kind of had to think about those things. I don't know.
It's hard. It's like
It's a really hard question. That is a really hard question
Yeah.
because morally, like when someone tells me like, "Oh, would you ever commit murder?" I'd be like, "No, no."
Mhm.
But then let's say my brother was under attack. Like, what extent would I go to?
Mhm.
Maybe I would learn like self-defense skills to try to like temporarily like knock them out or something. But I don't know if I could kill anyone.
But what if, say, someone's attacking your brother, and it's a man that's a lot bigger than you, and you haven't taken self-defense classes yet. You don't
Right.
have those skills. All you have is a gun. What do you do? Or all you have is a knife. What do you do in that moment? It's him or your brother. Who do you choose?
I would choose my brother.
So you'd be okay using deadly force?
I don't think I think you can kind of go around that situation in a way where you can like, if I had a gun, I would shoot their leg where it wouldn't cause immediate death, but it would definitely like give us time to get away.
Mm.
Or the same thing goes with if I had a knife, like I wouldn't stab him, let's say in the heart or the throat, like something that would be deadly. I guess
Try to miss an artery.
I would try to. Yeah.
I mean, you are health. You do know where the arteries are.
Right.
That helps you.
Right.
Okay. What if, because you said you wanted to shoot the legs, but what if your brother was like on the ground in front of the legs?
I feel like if it was between me and my brother, I would kill the guy. trying to attack my brother.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, and I would feel very much guilty, but in terms of like serving justice to my brother, I feel like if it was either or 100%, like you or my brother, I would have to kill the person trying to kill my brother.
Yeah, that makes sense. I agree with that completely. I would be in the same shoes. So what reason do you use to justify the congruence between that answer, that you would do that, and the sixth commandment, thou shalt not kill? How do you...
That's a loaded question. It's a big one.
That is a big one. It's a big one, but it's the last one, so really dig deep.
Okay. I think my initial thoughts is just self-defense and protection of my family and morally knowing that I'm doing the right thing. I guess if I was found guilty for murder, so be it. Because I don't think laws go above my morality. I guess it's different for everyone because it's like, what is your intent to kill? Like in that situation where it's like the killer of my brother, like I never would have the intent to kill, and I never have. But in a dire situation, I probably would have to kill the killer or the attacker of my brother.
I think that's like really what we're focusing on in this class is like from the shoes of the criminal, can you put yourself in their shoes, and what can you learn through that? So in terms of the Bible and the sixth commandment, you subscribe to the Bible, but then you're willing to kill. Where does that, how do you make that okay in your brain?
I think there's a lot of instances in the Bible where there has been like a lot of like prophets or whoever were told by God to slay this man, like David and Goliath, or how Abraham was told to sacrifice his own son, and he was doing that and willing to in faith. No, I think there's just some sort of like higher moral standing than just what man-made law has to say. I feel like there is so many instances in the Bible where God does tell someone to like slay this man, or like getting rid of the evil. It's like at the end of the day, it's like good versus evil,
But what is evil and what is good, and where do you draw the line between evil and good?
I feel like these are questions that
You need to dig deeper about.
I can't just answer like right off the top of my head like that. I don't know. I feel like that's a really loaded question, and I feel like I can't even touch the surface of it because that is a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot to it. Thank you so much, Anna, for being willing to do this interview with me. So appreciate it. It was really amazing to hear your insight, and I think you have some really good thoughts that the world could use.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Of course. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kylie.